Welcome to self-discoverywisdom.com, formerly known as Self-Discovery Media. On these podcasts, you're going to hear people who speak from the heart. They've taken the journey in life. Many things have happened to them, but they've changed it to happening for them. And in their strength, their courage, they've discovered their abilities and their wisdom, and they are now sharing it here with you. Do enjoy each show. We bring it to you with love and knowing that it's going to help you on your journey of life. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everybody. Welcome back to another edition of Sarah's View of Life right here on selfdiscoverywisdom.com. Your host here, Sarah Troy. Well, it's interesting. I went out for a wonderful evening with my daughter last week, and we got to talking about mental illness and A.D.D, which is in the family. And I was never diagnosed with that straight on, dyslexia. But kind of overdoing it, I think, was what the doctor had said to me. But my daughter brought up that most certainly that my actions are more on the A.D.D type of spectrum. And I have been suggested that I might be on the Asperger's spectrum as well. And I do have some great difficulty in many areas that just are structural that I can't build the building blocks from. So I did a test online and it came up with that I am A.D.D. And so now it's looking at what all of that means. So do we label these things as something against us, or do they just kind of help people understand or help ourselves understand these are our challenges, our obstacles, but it doesn't mean that they are our identity? I'm Sarah, who happens to have, now health-wise, I have asthma, fibromyalgia, arthritis, myofascial pain, sciatica, blah, all of that type of thing. On the other side of it, yes, I know I have the dyslexia, especially around numbers. And even in the words, I talk like Yoda, sometimes. And thank God for AI or autocorrect, because it can help put things back into proper order. But sometimes I speak in that way as well. And it's just the way it comes out. It's the way my brain works. So the AD, I don't think I'm hyperactive, which ADHD, ADD, yes, I can be forgetful. I do have difficulties with um, retaining certain information, and especially when it comes to things that need to be done, the structure of it, the building blocks of it. I definitely do have a challenge with that. And this is why, although I love doing my shows and certain aspects of doing my shows are just so fluid and just pour out of me, there are other sides of it that are very difficult. And the structural side of promoting, or the strategy side of business, the logic is there of what to do, but the application becomes a blank page. And I know that growing up, that would have been considered dumb. You're just stupid. That's all there is to it. Because that's how we labeled people back in the day. If you didn't fit into the norm of the expectation of reaching this goal, that goal, and this goal, or you were different in any way, then of course you had to be dumb. And so I grew up with that I was dumb. I talked myself into jobs I wasn't qualified for. And I bought something to each job that I realized was kind of that of a disruptor. Because one of the things that I think has always been my common denominator is that public relations and that customer service. And every job I came into, when it came to dealing with the customer, I didn't really need to know the product inside and out. They did. They knew what they wanted. It was the service that they were looking for. And if they didn't get that service, I would bring it back to the company. And if it wasn't attended, I would take it up higher. I wasn't afraid to go above the boss if the boss wasn't prepared to listen. A couple of times my boss got fired and I was offered the job. And I said, "You're missing the point. I don't want the job. I just want the boss to do the job. If the customer is unhappy, then it's their happiness that we need to attend to in order to still have their clientele." It's all about being the service that they need. And I still feel that way today. Everything is about the service that people need. And of course, I'm going to give it in the best way I can, um, within my limitations. And I don't expect or want to live up to this, you've got to be the be all and the end all. I've interviewed some incredible people who are massively efficient, who have incredible skills, who know structure inside and out, who are wonderful marketers or business gurus, ralliers, etc. It's not the way I'm wired, and it's not my key vibration. So I think kind of having been brought up in my life as to I didn't fit in, I don't meet the expectation of norm. I don't on any level, never mind academic. Um, I'm not doing things the way others are doing it. Um, I'm just different. And I know that for some people, kind of saying I'm just different is kind of a blanket statement, but it's when you feel that you don't fit in. You are the round peg amongst all the squares, and you they're fascinated by you and what you do, and they kind of come along and absorb a certain amount of you, but they can't take any more. Because I always thought it was because I was a free spirit, because I speak from my heart, my soul, and my spirit. That's where I come from, not my intellect. And the intellect is that of my heart, soul, and spirit. My head, academic and intellect, is something that follows the wisdom and the clarification from the soul and the heart and the spirit. If it doesn't resonate there, it ain't going to click in here. So I can't come from the head because the head doesn't think that way. I don't think necessarily rationally. I'm always this, but what if, or the other side of it, um, or maybe sometimes even emotionally attached to it, which I do know I can be. I get frustrated at other people's insecurities being opposed, which of course is my insecurity, right? When when you feel something that doesn't sit right, or it's a judgment, or it's just something that just like doesn't make sense, then you're going to react to it. And I know that I shouldn't, but lately, on one particular thing, like finding the right outfit for my son's wedding, I've had nothing but nightmare. I ordered a dress online and I ended up like the Goodyear blimp. Um, well, everything else, I finally found an outfit that I liked, and I was told I can't wear it because it's got white in it. Um, and now I'm back to the drawing board, and it's frustrating because I'm the mother of the groom, and I would just like to go there feeling nice in what I'm wearing, representing Zara, and being his mum, but showing up. And there's nothing left in the stores. They're already going into fall and winter clothes. So yes, it gets frustrating when you finally find that right outfit. And then you're told, no, you can't have any white. At the wedding, that's reserved for the bride. And if it was summertime, so many people wear things with white backgrounds, and it's going to be interesting, to see what people are wearing when they're there. But yeah, I kind of blew my top. Apologies to my daughter because she had to hear that. But maybe it is part of that limitation of the ADD, or whatever else I have. I don't think I have a compulsive disorder, but I do think the ADD maybe it fits there. Um, Even the Asperger's, I'm socially fine, one-on-one in small groups, but I'm completely out of sorts in certain arenas. And is it just that we are all different, that we all come from a different place, that we've all got kind of different gifts to share, and then different idiosyncrasies that make us who we are, as I call flawsome, all the flaws that have been put back together with love, and this is what you got, a crack bowl of love from a crackpot. Labels are fine in helping us understand our challenges, what we're up against. It's fine as far as, okay, I know these are my limitations and I know why. Instead of trying to push yourself up against the wind all the time, I've got to be this, I've got to do this. What so and so's doing this, why can't I do that? And then in understanding that you can't because it's not in your wheelhouse, it's not how your brain works, it's not how you are mechanically designed. And to accept that and rather focus in on the things that you can do, that you do well, and either hire someone or just minimize what you have to do on the other side, is what I do. I come at everything with good intent. We're most certainly wanting to support and to uplift and to provide for other people. Um, do I wear all the hats well? Absolutely not. And case in point, we have a new book that we're trying to promote for people to join, which is Mastering Self-Discovery, Wisdom from Renowned Coaches. And so far, no one's signed up. Now, is it my fault because I'm not pushing hard enough? Although I've done shows on it, I've done videos on it, I share the links on it, I talk to people about it. Is it me that's in the way? Is it timing? And we can go down that rabbit hole. What is the cause? And sometimes we just need that rah-rah person. That is that big salesperson that's going to go after people. I'm so much based, and perhaps this is probably one of my faults, I'm so much based on free will. If you do not freely want to be a part of it and freely go through the experience of it and the contribution of it, then I don't want you. I don't want people to feel obligated or pushed into something. It's something you see because you believe in it. For me, if you're not coming from the heart and your intent is not there to help other people, if it is derived about the six figures and the ego and I'm so important, no, I don't want you anyway because it's the wrong fit. It's the people that are compelled to do what they do in their coaching, mentoring, and counseling because everything that they've been through has put them on this path to help other people. And all I'm doing is providing another avenue for people to find them and hear them and read about them. It has to come from there. And having a sales pitch, is it going to reach those people? The one-on-ones, the talking to people about it, the doing the shows on it. It will resonate with the people that it resonates with. So whether dyslexia or ADD or whatever else label I have on me, I know I have deficiencies. I know I have things that I simply can't do. And I've beaten myself up all my life because of that. I'm not enough. I couldn't be like so-and-so. I couldn't do it like Hujima I let the kids down because I wasn't that person or that mother. I have to embrace who I am in the best light that I can be, which I'm truly trying to give you the best light that I am, with what I have to share. And I'm saying all the time on the shows with the interviews, we need to focus on the gift that we are and the abilities that we have and not get bogged down or paralyzed by the things that we can't do. So I will continue to plod along to bring you shows of inspirational people that are out there making a difference. My style of interviewing is your cup of tea or isn't. It's perfectly all right. This is my style. I want the heart and the soul of that person in what they're doing. Not the rah-rah, not the self-importance, but they're in it because they see the need for it, because they were in the seeking of it as they were going through life themselves. Those are the people that are truly inspirational, and inspiration begets invitation. So whatever label we may carry, that being a woman is already a stigma against us. Whatever color we might be, if we're black or brown or a tinge of anything, you If you're persecuted as a woman because you have been for so long. Now, if you're white, you're persecuted because the white have had the control of the opulence for so long. So now there's a persecution against being white because we're labeled as the people that have harmed all the other people. Can we not look at people individually and say, I see you, no matter what color vessel you come in, no matter what sexual orientation you come in, no matter what packet you come in, but I see you for who you are and what you have to contribute. I see you, the essence of you, the light of you, the abundance of you. And quite honestly, who cares what it comes in? It's what are you doing? How are you inspiring? How are you uplifting? How are you helping other people? How are you being that beacon of light for others? That is what's important to me. Now, around certain people, I always feel inadequate. Just do. And I have to accept that because I feel their expectation of what I should be in their minds, I will never live up to. And I'm not seen for the strength and the ability I do have. And there's others that see in that strength and that ability, and that's all they see, which is what I would obviously prefer to be. Let us embrace whatever we have or we are. As I said, I have the health things against me. I've been an asthmatic for 67 years of my life. Yes, it's still with me, and yes, it still has control. It always will. Lungs are damaged now. I have fibromyalgia, which I am trying so many different modalities to get under control because it's inflammation, it's toxins held in the body, and I'm doing whatever I can to release those toxins and release the pain. And, obviously arthritis very often comes from a damage, breaking of something, damaging of something in your system. I know good old sciatica. Well, that has its own story. These are things that I live with. And of course, depression. And I realized that depression is actually a part of ADD because we fluctuate so much, especially when we feel the don't belong or the frustration, the inability. It becomes that kind of paralyzing. And so those mood swings I have to be conscious of and know that, oh, I'm feeling the rabbit hole, opening up. What am I going to do in order to make sure that it doesn't swallow me up? And for me, it is not going to the drugs. There is the last resort. It is listening to music, doing shows that are uplifting, watching videos of rescue animals and people doing kind acts. That is what lifts me up and helps me get back on track. We've all got something. We've all got some obstacle or challenge that is perpetually in our way. It's how we manage it that counts. Whatever I'm labeled with, A.D.D, dyslexia, there's another word for math dyslexia, because numbers, I have to be extremely careful because I can put them reversed easily. So don't ask me to fill out a column or a document because I always will put things in the wrong place. We do what we can do. And that's what we focus on. And we don't dwell on what we can't do because there's nothing we can do about it. We can do our very best, but if our mind is wired that way, it is wired that way, and you cannot rewire it. You can reprogram, you can retrain, but you can't rewire. I'm turning 70 this year. No rewiring is going to be happening here. I'm going to continue to do what I do because I love what I do, and I love the people that I do it with. All the other things that I would love to do, the books, what I call podcast books with the summits and all of that, it will be or it won't be. It's a great idea. We can do it very well because I'm aligned with the wonderful Hill Publishing, who's professional on the publishing side of it, myself with the podcasting and the summit side of it. If people don't bite, they don't bite. Maybe it's just simply the wrong time. But what I'm not going to do is beat myself up or think myself a failure because it didn't happen. The last book took a few years to put together. Every time I tried, things went against this Our Forgotten Children book series. And then I decided it was time, and the universe said yes. And all the people I thought that were going to be in the book had either retired, moved on, doing something else, or they couldn't do it at that time. And then all of a sudden, all the people I'm interviewing just on general interviews were perfect for the book. And the book got made. Blessing from the Hill Publishing and all the people that contributed. Could we have done more with the book? Yes, I'm forever promoting it. It is about what we need to change in the systems of our children so we do not have dysfunctional children growing into dysfunctional adults, and that they have the best childhood they can have, and we support the parents in being the best parents they can be, and changing the school system and the societal system and all of that, because the systems are what's breaking things down. So it's a passion project for me. But everything I do comes from a passion. It comes from something that I wholeheartedly want to contribute to and contribute from, because I really want to be supportive and bring that messaging forward. So we can label each other. And all we're doing, if we are using that label, is understanding the limitations of what we can do, but then embracing what you can do in all of its abundance. So this is what I am going to do. Embrace all my abundance and all that I can do in its limited way. And I'm going to do it without apology. I'm going to do it from my heart. And I'm not going to let any labels get in the way. Am I huge business savvy? Am I a huge marketer? No. I have the content for marketing and I market the best I can. But I'm not one of these high energy rah-rahs who push and push and push. I present what is there, and for your free will, you can accept it or not. And I can't go against that grain. To do so will be to go against everything I believe in, and everything that I am. You either see it, hear it, and want to be a part of it, or you don't. And that's all there is to it. So, whatever label you've been labeled with, don't become the label. It's the same with a disease. Don't become the disease. It is your challenge to meet. It is your challenge to face, to discover your strength, your courage, your abilities, your conviction, your passion, your why, your because. I know what mine are. As I said, the added A.D.D now, which makes sense. It makes sense. It does describe, why I get the depressions and why I have such struggle in certain areas. And, even as a parent, how I let my kids down because of that. But little did I know that that was my challenge at the time. And of course, my children have A.D.D because I think their father does too. So, we were just scratching the surface of understanding what that was as they were growing up. Okay, so I have it. What am I going to do with it? I'm going to understand what my obstacles are, and I'm going to assess whether I can climb them, go around them, under them, over them, or whether I have to take a different direction. But at least I know that that is part of my challenge, and now I face it, and I move on with all that I can do, and that's all we can do. So be kind to yourself, folks. Don't beat yourself up. Again, don't become the label. It's just your challenge to bear. And step out in all your beautiful abundance and be all that you are to yourself and to others. And what you are supposedly lacking wasn't meant to be you, wasn't meant to be yours to give. What you have been given, the gift that you really are, is what you're here to share. And that's all that matters. So until next time, folks, And if you are interested, if you're a coach listening and wanted to be a part of this book, or you know somebody that might be, you go to the orchardofwisdom.org and under the tag, be our next author. So until next time, folks, be kind to yourself, be nice to yourself, give yourself a break, and just be simply beautifully you. Bye for now. We hope that you enjoyed the show. There are so many more for you here on selfdiscoverywisdom.com. Just go to the podcast tag at the top there and you will see all the many genres and all 3,000 shows ready for your listening. We are here to serve you, to help you on your journey of life, and we know that through inspiration it begets invitation. We are supported by you, the listeners, and those that we interview. Anything that you can spare us in donation would be greatly accepted, and we do hope that you enjoy the next show.